Yo, what's going on, y'all? 805 Just here, the real Capri Sun, Mr. Cranberry Funk. I still have all my wisdom teeth. Ventura, California is the place on my birth certificate, the real 805. Shout out to all my 805ers in Ventura County, up and along the Central Coast, and anybody touching the Pacific Ocean here in California on the West Coast. Let's get right into it. I knew this was going to happen, y'all. I knew this was going to happen. This man was on the hot seat, and that seat only got a little bit hotter as the playoffs continued and as the Knicks made more progress and got deeper into the playoffs, into the Eastern Conference Finals. It was just announced that the New York Knicks are parting ways with Tibbs. If you're familiar with Tibbs, he's been a coach in the NBA for a long time, for many years now. He coached Derrick Rose in Chicago, and then of course has been coaching the Knicks for the last few years. And we've kind of seen them come back and really improve, and their roster has gotten better over the years, and they've acquired players like Jalen Brunson and Cat and Bridges, and they just put together a great team, and they had a great playoff run this season. Made it all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals. They beat the Boston Celtics, and then they had some struggles against the Indiana Pacers. Of course, if you did watch the playoffs and the Eastern Conference Finals specifically, the Indiana Pacers just won, I believe it was last week, and the Indiana Pacers are now headed to the NBA Finals. A lot of people, including me, had criticism for the way Tibbs coached the Knicks in the series against the Pacers. Specifically, our criticism came in regards to his rotations. We saw this with the Lakers. Was it this past season? Yeah, this past season with the Lakers when we had to play against the Minnesota Timberwolves. And I don't know if it was two games. It was one game for sure, though, where for some reason J.J. Redick kept the same lineup in for like the last, if not the last two quarters, the last entire fourth quarter. And clearly the guys were tired. You got LeBron out there who's 40 years old, and they're running, trying to keep up with this young Minnesota Timberwolves team. And I don't know if J.J. Redick was trying to prove a point, but he wouldn't sub out anybody. He kept the same lineup in for the entire fourth quarter. It might have been the whole second half, but it was the entire fourth quarter for sure. And, of course, the Lakers end up losing that series and get kicked out of the playoffs. Coach Tibbs did a similar thing in this playoffs with the Knicks. I don't know if he played the same guys for the whole quarter, but I do know for multiple games, his rotation was very short. He wasn't reaching to a lot of bench players. I want to say the last broadcast I watched when they were playing the Pacers, they said something like Tibbs was only playing like 7 players. Like you shouldn't do that during the regular season, pardon me. But during the postseason, when guys are more tired, when you're traveling more frequently, and you want players to be as healthy as possible, why are you only playing 7 players the entire game? And you might have 12 to 14 guys on your entire squad, on the entire roster. So if you got 5 on the floor, you may have 6 or 7 on the bench, and you're only playing 7 players, the same 7 people the entire game. And if I'm not mistaken, Tibbs did this multiple times during that run versus the Pacers. I don't remember a lot of talk about it during the when they beat the Celtics and the Patriots, the Celtics and the Pistons. But for sure, there was a lot of talk about it specifically during the Eastern Conference Finals against the Indiana Pacers, because if you watch that series, the Pacers have a deep bench. They have a deep rotation. And the Knicks were the total opposite. The Knicks kept playing their normal, starting 5 with maybe 1 or 2 guys off the bench. And I think that includes Cat, Jalen Brunson, Bridges, McBride, who else? Mitchell, their center. I know I'm missing somebody else. Campaign saw a little bit of action, but they OG Anunoby, of course, from the starting lineup. But as far as their bench goes, Tibbs wasn't getting guys the breaks that they needed. And when he would do it, he would sit Cat and Jalen Brunson. You can't sit both of your stars at the same time, and you're struggling against an Indiana Pacer team that, they're going to dominate when you only have backups in, when you only got bench players in. They're going to take advantage of that. So I'm not surprised by this at all. I definitely had a feeling that this was going to happen or some type of change was going to come because I would say he did a terrible coaching job. And I think I said it before, the Knicks had a chance to beat the Indiana Pacers and go to the NBA Finals, and the coaching definitely didn't help. So I'm curious to know what y'all think, but that's my thoughts on Coach Tibbs, aka Tom Thibodeau, government name, being fired today by the New York Knicks. Just happened less than 30 minutes ago.